I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
Huh. So Sora got into Smash. Thanks for making sure I found out about it. Anyway, I'm excited Sora's in Smash. I've said as much in my previous video that if any of the characters got in, I'd be happy with it. But if anything, it just means I have a chance to finally work on that tier list video I've been wanting to work on for a while. But that's not what this is today. Today is something much stupider. As is to be expected, it really didn't take long for all of the memes to start flying once this big reveal actually happened. But the one that I want to focus on specifically today is this one. Because Disney is, well, Disney, Donald and Goofy won't actually be joining Sora on the adventure into Smash Brothers. So, a lot of fans have taken it upon themselves to fan cast the Duck Hunt character as Donald and Goofy. Because dog, duck. I thought it was funny, like a lot of other people did. But it's a little too easy of a comparison, don't you think? In response to a lot of people making that same tweet, I made this one. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I decided, you know what, screw it. I've got time. Let's make the list. Let's go down the line, fan cast every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with someone from Kingdom Hearts. Because why not? To put it simply, I will be fan casting every fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with one character from the Kingdom Hearts franchise, offering rock solid evidence or the flimsiest possible excuse I can as to why X character meets Y character. I'll be doing this one character per one character, so no crossovers, no multiples, nothing like that. I won't be using any alt characters for Super Smash Bros., so all of the Koopa kids won't get one, but Bowser Jr. will. And I will, as I said, give a 1 to 2 sentence description as to why I chose this comparison. In some cases, it just made perfect sense. In other cases, there wasn't a very good comparison to make otherwise. Or, honestly, I was just running out of ideas. But either way, this is this list. Alright, premise over, idea over, you get it. Let's start fan casting. Both are the kings of the castle in their respective universes, with high-pitched voices and a propensity for taking everyone's money. A heavy hitter with a penchant for slapping foolish enemies around. Adept sword fighters with a history of reincarnating who also use bows and explosives in combat. Both are the protagonists of their own games and use sex appeal to sell people on said initial games. Both are dark, brooding, and I want them to step on me. Both are large green lizards that make weird chirpy noises. Both like to control other people for their own benefit and are experienced chefs. Self-confident space pilots. A shocking pair of electricity users that like to relentlessly zap their foes. The second fiddle to the real star of the show who goes berserk when pushed too far. A little wizard who uses a variety of spells to take out their foes. Both are savvy with vehicles and like to salute. A pair of deceptively soft musicians who would rather play music than be caught up in a fight. The blonde-haired version of the girl next door that everyone wishes could be their friend, but who is given much more attention than the girl next door. The girl next door that everyone wishes could be their friend. Two thick boys with attitude who are oftentimes more bark than they are bite. A pair of siblings who use ice and brute strength to deal with their foes. Both are ninjas that specialize in using shuriken and being annoying by keeping their distance from you. Just a pair of timid magic users, not much really to them. Small healers with pudgy round noses and white get-ups who aren't afraid to extort you for some potions. Small furry creatures who can't do much on their own. Incredibly competitive best friends with cocky attitudes. Calm and poised fighters who wait for the right moment to strike, usually countering their opponent's strike rather than striking first. A copy of someone else who eventually became their own person. Masters of manipulating time and using everyday items to their advantage. The big bad who constantly reincarnates and is overly confident in their plan for domination. Floaty bastards filled with darkness who feel like they don't belong anywhere. Sword fighters who use large blades and fire to fight their enemies. Both are leaders of military forces that can be reckless in battle. Flat bits of pure darkness that can change their shape at will and move frantically around. A dark representation of a sword fighter who wears an imposing and evil-looking mask. Young men with the potential to turn to the darkness, who overcame that struggle to become beacons of light. A darker version of an already existing character that's nothing more than just a shameless clone. Both are flexible blondes with outfits that resemble bikinis more than clothing. Two experienced fighters who would rather accumulate wealth and have multiple profitable ventures than fight. Tech-savvy individuals who like to avoid physical conflict. Big dude who uses an even bigger sword that takes people out. Only difference is that Ike has use of both his arms. Stuck on the sidelines trying to wrangle three unruly fighters. Both are masters of using water in combat, but are the weakest physically of the trio that they're a part of. The middle child of their respective trio, and a much more balanced fighter than their contemporaries. The heavy hitter of their respective trio, and the one who's angry all the time. Both thrive on staying on the edge of an area and peppering their enemies with their ammo. A carbon copy of their original with enough changed for them to be considered a new character. Small blue alien creatures that if you aren't careful can come up and take you out quickly. Both of them utilize giant hammers to take out their foes and look good while doing it. Both are cowards who pluck people out of obscurity to deal with conflicts that they started. Dogs who are considered inferior in popularity when compared to the mouse that is the mascot of their franchise. Mindless machines with the illusion of free will who are only good at the same few remedial tasks. Two experienced fighters who utilize wind power to help them fight. Self-confident space pilots who take more risks than their counterpart. Two fighters who fight with sticks and a can-do attitude. A pair of helpful robots with numerous removable attachments. Physically fit white boys who use balls as weapons. Powerful wizards known for their love of the stars who have control over the very fabric of the universe. A pair of fighters who would rather let the fists do all the work. A pair of ninjas who are on the opposite spectrum of strength and weakness in regards to water and lightning. Both are intelligent women who have to deal with headstrong teenage boys all day. Colorful and fun characters who have a whole random assortment of attacks that are also references that they can dish out. Because book! Moody anime boys who use awkwardly shaped swords to fight their enemies. A snot-nosed kid who thinks he's tougher than he actually is because of who his dad/future self is. The pairing that started this whole thing off, and probably the most obvious comparison to make outside of direct ones like Cloud or Sora. Fighters who punch and spin kick their opponents repeatedly. Fighters who kick, spin kick, and very occasionally punch their opponents. Literally the same character, but much less moody than his Kingdom Hearts counterpart. Warriors who hide behind the facade of being dragons to do any real damage in a fight. Witches who leave their foes in stitches, the only difference being that Bayonetta at least has some semblance of style. Both use children's toys to deceive their opponents into lowering their guard before they hit them with real firepower. Both have incredibly protruding cheekbones and could really benefit from eating a sandwich. A strong fighter who takes on mythical beings for a living. A fighter of mythical beings who wears blue and makes fangirls swoon. Both are big, bulky boys who use their bellies to repel attacks. Young ladies who primarily use weapons attached to strings. Heavy-hitting grapplers who serve under a particular master and bare their teeth at their foes for no real reason. A trio of fighters defined by a singular characteristic and color, but are ultimately the same. Both are thorny pricks who are best at tormenting their opponents. Both feature face coverings and use guns to dispatch foes. Sword fighters who occasionally shoot fireballs and think they're cooler than they actually are. Both are hard-hitting bears. The only difference is that Aced doesn't have a bird companion to talk him out of some of his more violent tendencies. Arrogant guys who wear dumb-looking vests that want to solve all their problems with their fists. Both are versatile fighters with both weapons and magic whose primary job is to teach others. Both have stretchy limbs to help them better reach their opponents and can amplify their attacks with fire. Just a nice pair of digital blocky boys. Unlike Cloud, Sephiroth is basically one for one here, save for the fact that he has a shirtless variant in Smash, which ultimately makes that one superior. Fighters with weirdly shaped weapons who happen to have a propensity for fire. Skilled sword fighters who can move across the battlefield lightning quick and deal a lot of damage. Powerful fighters consumed by the darkness within them. This is Sora. That's it. And that's that. Another silly idea that I had over and done with. And now I can hopefully actually focus on my other big video that I've been working on for a little while, hopefully out next week. Are there any of the castings that I put in here that you disagree with? Let me know down in the comments below. Do all that other fun YouTubey stuff down there while you're, down there. Follow me on Twitter if you don't already, where I post the occasional poll and stupid stuff like this. And I will see all of you in the next video. Take care.